I've got a 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe. Now in this video, we're going to check out all of the tech. We're going to check out the driver's display, we're going to go through the infotainment system, and then we're going to test the ADAS systems, the driver assist systems. Can it take curves by itself? Can the lane centering work really well? What happens if we don't put our hands on the wheel if we're passed out or something? So let's go take a look at that stuff and let's get started right now. All right, here is your driver's display. Now on the left side, you have your RPMs and a digital speedometer. In the center, you have your driver assistance. And on the right side, you have this kind of card here that tells you your current trip, and those can be flipped through to different options. Also in the center, and also the gauge cluster. Now to change the gauge cluster to a different look, we are going to press this button here on the steering wheel as we push that. So this takes you to traditional gauges. So on the left side, you have your speedometer with your fuel tank, and on the right side, you have your RPMs with your engine temperature. It's still in the center, you have your driver's display. Now to function through the center display, you're going to use that same toggle and you're just going to press up, and that's going to take you to this card here. And then if you do it one more time, it's going to kind of change the background a little bit, but then this next time it's going to take you to your navigation and then back to the driver assistance. Now to switch this on this side over here, we are going to go back to the other gauges. There we go. And to change this card on this side, you're going to use this little scroll button right here. You're going to push it and hold it down. That is going to take it away. Push it and hold it down again, brings it back, and now you can just kind of slide up with your finger or down with your finger to change that. So you have an auto stop counter, since the last reset, since refueling, and current trip. And then you can also go left and right. So if we go to the right, there's your weather, your media, turn-by-turn navigation, your power distribution. You have all-wheel drive in here, and then back to an auto stop. And those are your options for your driver's display. As you see on here, you do have some more driver assistance up at the top in case you decide to do something different there. Your gear is right here. You have your speed limit right here. And then down here, you have your gas range. And over on the other side, you have your odometer. And that is all for your driver's display. All right, here is your infotainment screen, and it is that big 27-inch screen. We already did the driver's display over here, and this is going to be your calm screen. So you have, it's kind of like navigation there, or a navigation map on there, and then up here you have your weather. So this, if it rains or there's lightning, that will show up here, and then you just kind of got some terrain going on there. On the right side over here, you have the temperature, you have the date, the time, and then you have your media down here, so anything you're listening to will show up right down there. So we're going to take one swipe over, and you have your map, and of course you click on the map, it's just basically going to take you to this. It's going to take some of that weather and stuff off of there, and the terrain off of there, and then you can just set up where you want to go from there. Destinations, same thing. You can kind of do a search, you can do nearby points of interest. Next is your phone projection. You can connect a USB cord into this, and then you can project your phone onto the screen. And then you have your phone that's connected that brings you up to all your contacts and those features, just like your phone would have. You go to setup, and we go into vehicle is your first one. So right here, you guys kind of see this little setup over here. We see this in a lot of vehicles now, something similar to this. So you can just push on the buttons. Driving convenience, you got smart cruise control. You can go in there, and this is your distance from the car in front of you. You've got your acceleration after that. You can set it from slow to fast or slow to quick for your reaction speeds, how quickly it changes or decides to take off and go ahead. So you've got highway driving assist, so it's kind of like lane centering, and you're up on the highway. It will pretty much take over, and you can automatic lane change on here. That's pretty nice to do. And then you also have the auto speed change, so it will change speeds when it recognizes a new speed sign. All right, so that's those things right there that we just went through. And then we go farther back out to this screen again, and we can click on driver safety. Here you have forward safety, you have forward safety warning timing, so you can go standard or late. You got forward cross traffic safety, forward side safety, lane safety, blind spot monitoring, which is really cool because the blind spot monitoring is actually here in the driver display. So if we want to change to the left lane, it's going to give us a camera view all the way down the side of the car, so you can see if there's any cars in your blind spot. Same thing with the other side. I actually love that feature. Then you have exit safety. Exit safety is going to use those same cameras to make sure there is nothing beside you or coming up beside you, so you can exit the car safely. Okay, we can go back out here again. We've got driver attention warning, leading vehicle departure alert. It's basically just going to let you know when you're at a stop or in traffic that the car in front of you has moved, and you can go ahead and move forward also. Then the forward attention warning basically is being controlled by this little eye tracker right here, and it's going to make sure that you are keeping your eyes forward. Now this will automatically turn on when you turn on your lane centering and your highway driver assist. It's going to automatically turn that on. Otherwise, when you're not using those features, then it will you can have it turned off. All right, we can go back and we go to speed limit. So here you can set your speed limit assist. So right now, the speed limit assist will recognize the speed limit, and it will notify you or automatically adjust the speed of the vehicle for that. And you can have it set for warning, just for information, off. Assist will, like I said, will increase it automatically, and you can set the offset all the way up to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. We'd like to keep ours at 5 here. So we go back, and then you have parking safety. Parking safety, you have camera settings that you can change. So you got parking distance warning, top view parking guidelines, and rear view parking guidelines. All right, back that up, and then you have surround view monitor on, and you have parking distance warning on. So you have parking distance warning auto on, forward side safety, rear safety, and rear cross traffic safety. So it will keep an eye on anybody driving or walking behind you. Okay. And then you have a volume control, so you can control the volume of any of those features. Now we go over here, we also have drive mode. So you can set up and save your drive mode how you want to drive. So you have powertrain of Eco, Comfort, Sport, or Sport Plus, steering, Comfort, Sport, or Sport Plus, and suspension, Comfort, Sport, or Sport Plus. This does have an electronic controlled suspension. So then we can go back. You can check brakes. You can have them in comfort or sport mode. You can also set them to drive mode change. Oh, you can also turn on a drive mode change alert and a coasting alert, I guess. Active sound design. So this does have a sound that will pump through the speakers inside the car. So you can have it loud, moderate, or just small, or you can just completely turn it off if you don't really care about hearing anything. Heads-up display, which is really nice. It is pretty large and pretty vibrant. It always looks small on the cameras, but like I said, it does look really good, easy to see. So you can make adjustments to your heads-up display in here. So you can raise it up, rotate it, and you turn the brightness up or down. So you have content selection. So now you can choose what you want to see in your heads-up display out of all of these features, and we have them all turned on. Then you can go to gauge cluster, illumination. You adjust the brightness automatically, or you can set it yourself. Cluster theme, this is linked to the drive mode, or you can choose which theme you want on your drive mode cluster, which is pretty cool. Here you can reset your auto stop timer. So you have auto start stop, and this will track when it goes into the stop mode. So once the engine shuts off and you're at a traffic light or whatever, it will record time. So kind of basically lets you know how much time you've actually saved the engine from running. Content selection on the cluster. So wiper and light display, blind spot monitoring view, and icy road warning will all pop up on your driver display. And then you can either turn on or off the welcome sound. So as we keep going down, you do have climate control here. So you can recirculate the air here, and you can have that set to activate upon washer fluid, activate upon entering tunnels. Automatic ventilation, so automatic dehumidify, which is nice to have, smart ventilation, and scheduled ventilation control. Auto defog, which is cool. Fragrance, you do have fragrance scents that will be distributed out through your vents if you want them. So this one is set on strong. The scent is favorite place. You can switch that to outdoors, and then it will put out a different scent. Just so you know, the scent pods are about $100 a piece. And I think there's either 2 or 3 of them actually in here. Then you go to climate features, air conditioner auto dry. You have lock rear climate controls so that no one in the rear can change them. And then you have touch button haptics so that if you want to make sure that you can feel what you're touching is doing something, you can set that whether you want it light or strong. And then the last one is your warmer ventilation features in your seats. So you can link the seat warmer for auto adjustment. So driver's seat armrest warmer, which does get very hot, and the driver's seat armrest warmer. And then you have seat warmer balance. So this you can set up to put more heat or more ventilation in the cushion or the backrest on either seat. That is all of the climate. You go into your seats. In your seats you have seat switch alert, so switch touch and alert controls. So anytime you would touch to change your seat, it's going to make an alarm to say, hey, you're changing things. And then switch control alert. Then you have ergo motion active alert, smart support. Now the ergo motion seat, you have comfortable stretch. You can set this intensity high or moderate, and you can set session length of 20, 15, or 10 minutes. And then you have smart posture assist, which it will automatically adjust the seat for the best ergonomic position while you are driving. Smart posture care, this is it right here. You're going to enter your driver information. So you are going to put this on whatever your height is, if you are 6 foot to 6'1", what your inseam is, and then what your weight is, and then you're going to hit the button and it's going to go through and analyze it and then put you in the best posture for your driving. Warmer ventilation features. This is the same thing we saw earlier. And then seating easy access, so you can have the seats slide back or slide forward when you're getting in and out. Lights. So here is your ambient lighting. So you can set this up for your brightness. You can do a custom colors, which is pretty cool. Change those up if you want. You can link it to the drive mode or dimmed in the dark. One-touch turn signals. I like to have mine on 5. And that is just lightly pushing down on your turn signal without making it all the way down to where you're actually turning. You're just kind of changing lanes. It'll flash 5 times as you are getting over. Welcome and mirror light are both on. Headlight delay, high beam assist is on, and interior lights are always on. Door and liftgate auto lock enabled on speed or shift, so you can change that whichever one you prefer to have it set on. Auto unlock when you shift into park. To press unlock. Power liftgate opening speed is set on fast. You got fast or standard. Power liftgate opening height, full open. Or then you have different levels that you can set, and you can even set one level yourself. Smart liftgate, that basically is you're walking up with your key. If you are standing there for a certain amount of time, then it will automatically open for you. And then you also have remote window down where you can drop all your windows from your key fob. You have a digital key that you can set up on your smartphone. And then under convenience, you have rear occupant alerts. So you set that on if you have kids that sit back there regularly so you don't forget them. Service interval, oil change reminder, wireless charging system for your mobile devices, and mobile phone wireless charging indicator. Okay, that is all of those functions. So then we have the navigation, which we kind of looked at earlier. Sound. This has an 18 speaker Bang & Olufsen stereo system, and they have this set up so you can adjust that. It's crazy. You can adjust everything in here. If you go to this Sonic, now you can have it to energetic, so it really cranks up the treble and the bass. You can bring it down and get more bass if you want more bass. Move it over here. It's pretty cool, relaxed, warm, energetic, bright. You just kind of move that around and put it wherever you want. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. I hadn't really messed with it too much, but I like bass and treble. You can also set position, so if you want it to be more in the front or the rear, you can just kind of slide that around. You can go centered, balance is centered. You can hit here, so more sound comes over here. It's pretty cool. Then you have guidance. So under your guidance, you can change the volume and alert thing. So the beeps, you can keep them turned down. The alerts, your navigation, you might want to turn that down some.
Guidance will be at this volume.
So there you go. And then navigation beeps. Voice prompts.
Guidance will be at this volume.
Voice guidance and ringtone. Navigation voice guidance and navigation voice guidance near the destination, so then you don't have to listen to them keep telling you, repetitively, turn left, turn left, turn left into your parking lot. Navigation alerts, so it's kind of let you know how close you are. Navigation during calls. Navigation volume priority, mute navigation guidance, and then welcome sound. Down, navigation volume controls. You can use the map screen. Use map screen volume buttons, or use map screen volume buttons or volume knob. Active sound, which we've already went through. Radio noise, minimum noise reduction. So you can actually set that however you want to change the frequency in your stereo. It takes out some of the sound. There's a driver assistance. You can set up your haptic warning, your lane safety audible warning, driver safety priority, and parking. It's just basically all of your sounds that you hear, and then Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Device connections, this is where you're going to go in and you're going to connect your phone. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just hit the add button and then connect your phone. User profile, you set up your own user profile, which is pretty cool because once you do that, you can also tie it to a fingerprint scanner. So when you put your fingerprint on there, it will automatically pull your profile up and set up the car how you like to drive. And then you have voice recognition. You have screen theme layout. So you set this screen up however you want, white, black, or automatic. Go to the black background and there you get all of that. It's changing all of the graphics. Even over here, this is all black also. That is really kind of hard to see actually. All right, you go in and change the vehicle exterior color. So you set it up to whatever color your car looks like. Your font size, however large you want to have your font up here on the screen. Cluster theme, which we already looked at, and the screensaver. You got an analog clock, or you can set it up a few different ones that you could choose, or none. Then you have your display. Basically, same thing, illumination. You have camera settings, so you can decide what you want, kind of something we looked at earlier. Then there's also a blue light filter that you can actually turn on at night or whenever you would like to have that on. Button touchpad. So here's your button and touchpad settings, which is this right here on your steering wheel. So this is your touchpad. So you can set up all of that, different things that you want to be able to do on there. Whole bunch of stuff in here. I know there's a lot of stuff in this infotainment screen, so this video is going to be probably a little bit longer than normal. Genesis radio controller, haptic, this is all the stuff that you can control by that little button on there. If you want, this is all shut off because nobody wants to be messing with all of that stuff while you're trying to drive. But that is something you can set up if you'd like to. Then you have data network, and then you have your general, which is your system info, date and time, language, that type of thing. The data network in here, you can actually set up a Wi-Fi hotspot if you choose to. All right, so now we're going to go back out, and you have a 3D setup. This is basically going to show you some hotkeys, really. So this is all your driver assistance, lights inside the car, and door liftgate, which we have already done. And you can kind of do a 360 thing and look around. We've already looked at all of those. So we're going to swipe again. This has a voice memo. You got Sirius XM here. Here is your media, whatever you want to watch or listen to there. You got Amazon Music, HD radio, and then the climate, which we did kind of dig around in a little bit, but this actually gives you a view of everything that is going on. So you can set temperature, and in here you can adjust your fan speeds. You've got your auto sync, your temperature on the other side, basically all that stuff. But you do have all buttons down here also, so you don't have to do this up here. Swipe one more time, and this is the mood curator. This is pretty cool. You actually turn this on, and under vitality, it's going to have music, and it's going to adjust the sunshade, and then also scent. Same thing here, delight, care, and this one's actually going to add in massage and comfort. It's going to also give you some massaging. So once you turn that on, that will adjust the screen. It's going to adjust your sunroof. It's going to start the massage, and it's going to put a nice scent in the car for you. Seats, here's your seat controls. So you can select whatever seat you want. So the passenger seat, I can make this seat back go back. I can go to the cushion and tilt it down or up. We can go to the back seats, do the same thing. I can fold them all the way down, send them backwards, whatever you feel like you want to do. Every seat. It's pretty cool. Then you have the ergo motion seat, which we actually talked about earlier with the massaging seats. Quiet mode. Quiet mode basically will only play in the front seat. So if you have kids sleeping in the back or grandparents or whatever your case may be, you have something you need to be quiet back there, it'll only play music in the front. Then you got connected services, valet mode, and Genesis Pay. One more swipe, you got notifications, and then your manual. And that wraps that up. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in that infotainment screen. I tried to cut it down as much as I could, but I wanted to make sure you guys had all the important stuff in there. And it would be a tech dive if we don't go through everything. But now it is time to get out on the road and test the driver assistance features. Like I said, we are going to put the lane centering on, let it drive around the curves. We're going to see what happens if you don't touch anything. How safe is the car if you would pass out? So we're going to try and test those things out. Okay, we are getting ready to come up on our first curve. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lane centering. You can see that green line right there now. So we are lane centering. I do have my hand on the side of the wheel. We're going to see how it takes this curve by itself. I'm just going to lightly hold on to it so I can kind of help it if it needs help. We are going to lower the speed to 58 as we go through here, which is a little higher than what it normally would be. And there it's going through the curve, no problem. I just very lightly touching it, not controlling it at all. So we are through that one. So the second one, we're going to go through it, and then I am not going to touch it after we go through. It's going to do it completely on its own. Do have kind of a windy day, so I'm taking my hands off. I am not touching the wheel anymore. We're going to see how long it goes before it tells me to put my hands on the wheel, and then what happens when I don't. So keep your hands on the wheel. So that's already popped up on the screen. I haven't done anything yet. Lane centering is still working fine. Heads up display is telling me also. All right, so now we've got some binging going on. Still not doing anything. Heads up display out there. I'll zoom in on that for you guys. Still doing nothing. We're still driving 58. Okay. Now it has, well, it says 0 miles per hour up there, telling me take control, take control. Up in the heads up display, same thing. It's slowing us down, slowing us down. I do have a car coming, so I'm going to do this fairly quickly. Let this come to a stop. It's vibrating the steering wheel, so that's different. Okay, we are stopped, and that's it. All right. So we're going to go because the car's coming. All right. So it did bring us down to a complete stop, and I don't think it's going to let me use cruise. Yeah, it won't let me use cruise again until I put it in park and stop. It did an excellent job, really. It was keeping us in the center of the lane. It was warning us the binging was going on. The only thing it didn't do was kind of jolt the brakes, which I have had done in some other vehicles. This one didn't do that, but this one, the steering wheel was vibrating, and other ones did not do that. So that was pretty cool that it was actually doing that. So it was trying to wake you up. If you were laying on the steering wheel or something like that, it might vibrate you awake. But other than that, it came to a stop, turned the hazards on, and was still binging and shaking the steering wheel, trying to wake you up. So it did a really good job. Way to go, Genesis. Hit the like button so people can see how safe this vehicle actually is and how the ADS systems work. And then click on the video that's on the screen. It's going to give you some more information about this GV80 Coupe. And maybe even a full review of the GV80 Coupe. So make sure you click on one of those. All right, guys, I'll see you later, and have a blessed day.